Hello everybody, Flik here, and welcome to the 13th Let's Chat. This is my weekly vlog type thing, posted every Monday at lunchtime if you're in the UK. And I do have things to talk about this time, but something just got suggested to me about a couple of minutes before starting this actually. It's rather serendipitous. From a patron who suggested that to maybe liven up the Let's Chats a little bit, bring people on to have a chat about whatever for 10 minutes. It'd be a lot more like the podcast I used to do if I did have someone else here to talk with me, but it would also be less vloggy unless I talked to that person about what I was going to talk to you guys about, but then that would defeat the purpose of having a guest on. And I suppose it's a bit like the Hearthstone series I do every Friday, where I would have a different person, ideally, although I don't exactly know that many people I could have in a call, to be honest, but still. I'm just putting that out there straight away, so if you have any opinion on that, do you prefer to listen to me ramble away for 10 to 15 minutes every Monday, or would you prefer if I had a guest on every... let's not say every Monday, let's say once in a while if I had a guest on to either talk about what I had planned, or they suggest something and we just talk for however long. Within reasonable limits, obviously. So yeah, I'm just looking for feedback on that. And I'm recording this on the Saturday before the Monday that this will be posted. And tonight we are doing the 4th Monster Hunter get-together, but I'm not filming it because we're going to help people who are a lower online rank get to a higher one, so that the next time I do a recorded evening, they will be able to join in. Because during the third one, sadly, my character progressed so much that now people of a lower online rank aren't allowed into the quests I can do by the game. I'm sure you can hear Maya, she is furious about it. I mean, when she heard, she's only HR 1, so you know what, that just makes her mad. So this is a way of hopefully getting a few more people up to the required ranks, because I didn't like, rather, when we were doing the evening and all of a sudden it was like, oh, hang on a minute, you have to be HR 3 to join, and that basically means I can only use the same 3 people, and there's about 5 other people who are no longer able to join in. Didn't like that, because that defeats the purpose of these kind of get-together nights. Yeah, it's nice if you can watch me play, but if you can play, it's far better. So hopefully that also gives me time to progress, because I haven't actually played Monster Hunter since the day after that 3rd get-together. Obviously I'll be playing it tonight, but I mean in terms of making progress. I also get a huge backlog of videos when I do those Monster Hunter nights, because I record so many in the one sitting. Like, if I look at my desktop now, where I kind of leave all the videos I haven't uploaded yet, it's filling it. So let's see, I've also got quite a few Titanfall beta ones, because I knew the beta was ending, so I recorded a bunch to tide people over until the game was out. So, including Titanfall and a couple of Let's Look Ats I've got to go up, I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Oh Jesus, I've got 8 videos in my backlog, and that's not including the one I put up today, which is already 2 days in advance. Ugh. See, that's what happens when I record a lot of Monster Hunter videos in one sitting. And I have to space them out because I don't want to just upload them one after the other. But, you know, it's nice to have a lot of content available and ready. But also because of the length of, say, the average Titanfall or Monster Hunter video, even after handbraking it, it still doesn't leave much room for another video unless it's something really short. Like, say, a Let's Chat, so obviously this won't impact me posting this on the Monday. So, anyway, let's not talk about that. I'm not here to moan about that. I do have 2 things to talk about. Let's talk about one thing to get out of the way. A little while ago I was bored. In fact, both these stories are going to relate to me doing random stuff when I'm bored, and do not try and fill in the blanks, let me explain. So, I was bored about 2 weeks ago, and I decided to start writing down any little tip that came to mind regarding building a channel on YouTube, specifically for gaming, although there is some kind of general advice I could throw in as well. And I just started writing it, just throwing it on the page, and then eventually it started to be a bit coherent, so I broke it into sections, and then I started offering it to people on Twitter who may have been interested. Some people had their own YouTube channels, some people didn't. They gave feedback, I've edited it a little bit. I wouldn't say everything is there that should be, but you know, this isn't exactly a commercial enterprise here. I'm just bringing it up because if you are on YouTube, newish I would say, or maybe struggling a little bit, or maybe are considering in the future to starting your own channel, in the gaming genre specifically, ideally, I have this, I think it's like 6,500 word document that you can read. It might offer you some tips. If you're already experienced on YouTube, if you've been on here a little while, chances are there's not really going to be anything that you don't already know and probably do in your own daily uploads, etc. But you can still read it if you want. So I'm not sure how to make it widely available. I've just been sending it in emails, and I don't really want to start saying, oh, just send me an email and I'll throw it to you, because that'll be too much work. So what I might do is I'll do a Dropbox link or a Google document link, one of the two, and it'll be in the description of this video. And if you want to give it a read, feel free. I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm not saying it's proof of certain things working. It's all anecdotal, it's all my experiences on YouTube for 6 years on my own. So you may find it of use, and you're free to, you know, give it away to whoever you want if they're interested in it. Obviously not commercially, because I wrote it, so technically it's mine, but you are free to share it for free, as long as it's free. So yeah, that'll be in the description below, and you know, give me feedback if you want. I'm not sure if I'll do another draft of it in the future, because it was on a whim, but if enough people are interested and take a liking to it and give feedback, I may do a second draft with a lot more added. I don't know. I'm not sure how much else there is to say, because I don't exactly have a huge level of success on YouTube, so there's only so much I can state, and then there's only so much I can theorise about that'll be at least remotely accurate. But still, the offer is there, assuming I remembered. If I didn't, shout at me until I do. And check the description box first before you shout. So that's the one main thing I wanted to talk about. The other main thing that I wanted to talk about is that, again, one evening when I was really bored, I decided to finally give in to everybody telling me that I should read/watch Attack on Titan, which is the new kind of in anime. And I did. I don't have time to watch anime these days, unfortunately, especially not when you have to download the episodes. That's mildly illegal, so... But anyway, I mean the Japanese ones, not dubbed or anything. I don't even know if Attack on Titan is dubbed. I assume it is. But still, I started reading the Attack on Titan manga late one evening. I read as much as I could before being too tired to carry on, and then I read the rest the next morning, and it lasted me until about the afternoon. So I've now read all the current issues of the Attack on Titan manga. That's about, how long has it been going for? Is that like 3 years or something? It hasn't actually been going that long as a manga. I'm going to talk about it a bit while also you'll hear my mouse in the background clicking, but I want to actually check when it originally started, the manga that is, because I know the anime is actually fairly recent, because it's like halfway through the manga it started advertising the fact that the anime was coming out. So for those who don't know, it is, the literal translation from the Japanese is Advancing Giants, so I'm not entirely sure why they retranslated it to Attack on Titan, because that doesn't even make any sense, because Titans are the villains of the thing, and Attack on Titan doesn't make any sense. I mean, you could say Attack the Titans or something like that, and it would mildly make sense, but whatever. It's called Advancing Giants if you want to literally translate the Japanese. And it actually aired, sorry, it didn't air, it was published in 2009, yeah, so it hasn't actually been going that long in comparison to, say, Soul Eater, although that's finished now, but still, Naruto, Bleach, etc. You know, the ongoing Shonen Jump mangas, and it's not actually in Shonen Jump, although it does have a lot of the tropes that those mangas do, because it's so bloody gory. It's got horrendous amounts of gore. You have to have a strong stomach, and I mean that in the manga version. It's about a world where the human race is basically almost extinct. They have one area of land that's walled off, and it has kind of inner circles of walls, and then towns spattered around also walled off, and they're hiding from Titans, which are giant humanoid monsters that eat them for apparently no reason, and only humans. No livestock, no birds, no dogs, no nothing, just humans. And it tells the story of the human race going 100 years without any trouble from the Titans because the walls have protected them, but suddenly a giant Titan appears, breaks the wall, and all hell breaks loose. And it follows the story of, oh, what's the main character's name? You know, this is the problem with reading so much manga in one sitting. The names don't stick, unfortunately, but actually also that relates to a complaint I have about it, but still. I've kind of set up the story here, so... yeah, his name is... it's Ellen, I think. No, that doesn't ring a bell. It begins with an E. Yeah, actually, let's get the complaints. Well, no, let's be complimentary about it first. It is really good. I really highly advise reading it. I was very addicted. I mean, the thing that almost put me off when I first started reading it, and you may not have this if you watch the anime, but I can't vouch for the anime at all. Haven't seen it. Probably never will. Still, the thing that might put you off when you first start reading the manga is it's really, really badly drawn. And I don't know about this kind of thing, but I can look at something and say, that's not well drawn. And it isn't. It's just really bad. And I don't mean the Titans either, because they're not anatomically correct on purpose. It adds to the freakiness of them, quite frankly. But the normal people in it, it's not well drawn. And even in the latest issue of the manga, it's still not amazing. As with all mangas, if you go on for enough years, the quality improves. I mean, Bleach is the same, Naruto is the same, everything. But it's just like the starting point of Attack on Titan is far behind where they started. So you have to be willing to look past the art style, and it's not exactly an action-packed manga either. I'd compare it a lot to, like, it's the Walking Dead of Japanese manga. It's very tragic, it's very depressing, there's very few happy points. Lots of characters die. The author is not afraid to kill off main cast members when they feel like it. I don't actually know who made it. Actually, I can check that on the same page I was looking up the start date. It is made by Isayama Hajime, so that is probably a male name, I think. Yeah, so I think that settles the... I'm praising this thing here. I'm about to go into some problems I have with it, but I like it a lot, and it is highly, highly, highly recommended if you're into adult mangas. I don't mean adult as in, like, you know, nudity and sex and stuff. I mean it deals with a lot of depressing tones and graphic violence. Rarely does an issue go by without humans being devoured alive in graphic detail, so you have to have a strong stomach and not be put off by that kind of thing. But problems. Well, problems with it. Other than the bad art when it first starts, again that might be mitigated if you watch the anime. Other problems. The main character I absolutely despise. I think he's a nothing character. I think he's only important by Deus Ex Machina. He reminds me a lot of Van from Final Fantasy XIII. I think the story would be a lot better without him. And the story in Attack on Titan is so strong, I think it's actually a story that could get by on its own with just the supporting characters. It doesn't need a main character per se, because there isn't really a main antagonist either. It's a race as the whole. It's the Titans. So yeah, I just do not like him. He's stereotypical gung-ho, yeah, I'm going to go kill all the Titans, and then he gets his ass handed to him, and he has no discernible skills, and he never does anything right. It's like, how am I supposed to root for this person when he's so utterly pathetic and gets good people killed? I just don't get it. So he does nothing for me. Maybe it's on purpose. I don't know. The female lead, on the other hand, I think is very well done. It's very rare that strong female characters are done well. What do I mean? Well, the one in Attack on Titan, I think her name is Masaka. Or it definitely begins with an M. She's kind of like Rukia in Bleach, if Rukia in Bleach had a personality. And she's well written, I like her. It's very rare for mangas to have strong female characters. Oh dear, I need to clear my throat. I have a cold again, but it isn't my fault this time, I swear. There's a cold going around, my family has it, strangers have it, I was shopping twice this week, I've caught it from them. And it sucks, so excuse me for a second. Oh, it also meant that I haven't been recording as much as I want to, although given how much of a backlog I have, that's probably a good thing. So what other problems? I think it might suffer from heroes syndrome, which is it relies too much on mystery. And if it goes on too long, people will get bored of not knowing what's going on, if you get what I mean. So there's only like two key things people want to know in Attack on Titan, and they're already dragging one of these, like really early on you learn, this isn't a spoiler I would say, if you don't want to hear anything about the plot because you don't want it spoiled, I'm going to be saying something from really, really early on here, so I hopefully don't spoil anything too bad. But if you want to quit out at this point, feel free. See you next week. Okay, so there, giving them enough time. So really early on, you find out that the main character has secrets, and apparently the solution or the answer to what these secrets are, they'll explain everything, are just in the basement of his house. But due to convoluted reason after convoluted reason, they can't get back to the basement of his house. And that's still running to this day as kind of a background thing. If we get there, everything will be answered, everything will be fine. And that bugs me. Sorry for that cut there, my phone rang and that was about 10 minutes ago. I've totally forgotten what I was talking about now. I think it was the problems I was having with Attack on Titan, but I decided I don't really want to talk it down because I like it a lot, like I was saying, and I highly recommend it. You can go to mangareader.com if you want to read all the mangas, or you can watch the anime, but I don't know if that's as true to the story. You'd have to ask someone who's watched it. I've heard that it is, and it actually works in seasons, which is rare for a Japanese anime. It means there's no filler, and it probably means overall the quality of each episode is a lot higher, so that sounds really good to me. So I am just going to finish up here actually. I've got to go do stuff now, unfortunately. That's wasted too much of my time, that phone call. So thank you for listening, and see you next Monday. Feel free to leave feedback, I don't know why I said that in an accent, feedback about the potential of bringing someone on to chat about whatever they want or whatever I want, we'll see, and also the link in the description for that file I was mentioning, the document I wrote up with tips for getting started on YouTube in the gaming genre, although even if you're not in the gaming genre you might still find some useful stuff there, who knows. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I shall see you, hear you, smell you, next Monday. Ta-ta for now, everyone.